Okay guys, I need you to lie on your back and get into the best alignment that you feel is possible from crown of the head down to your tailbone, and just be aware of your breath. Start rocking your pelvis forward and back. See if you can check out the alignment of your bone placement, of your sacrum, of your tailbone, of your lower back. You can see here when I start rocking my pelvis back and forth, I then check for breathing assessment laterally, where you have your hands placed onto the rib cage, or one option, you have one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly. You can see there that my shoulders are lifting to the ears. You're going to try to avoid that and move back to lateral breathing. It would be ideal if you can do this entire sequence with your pelvic floor deep, transverse abdominis engaged, and your lateral breathing. Think about execution of the exercise on your exhale. So your setup would be your inhale. Now these are leg openers or hip openers, really suitable for lower back pain or tightness. They help with upper shoulder pain and neck pain as well. So try for inhalation as you open, and then exhale back. And just be body aware. Are you squeezing your glutes? Are you gripping your hips? Are you gripping your jaw, your shoulders? I typically do about 10 on each side. I like to keep to a single leg option, but you can switch. And then a secondary option would be to really try to keep your pelvis stable. But again, do what's right for you. Okay, so moving forward, we're going to do some corrective exercises to help open your back and increase the movement. Starting here with a little bit of a setup, tabletop position into a single leg stretch. So I'm just slowing it down here to feel for the deeper muscle engagements and to allow for connection with the breath. Now remember, as the baby grows, as your posture will be changing with feeding and lifting and carrying, do be aware of your head position. Even here, just drawing your chin down, your alignment for your ears, shoulders, hips, down to the heel, can be also in the thought process. You might even feel a varying difference in your setup that way. Sometimes the next day you might feel a little tenderness in the back of the neck, and if so, you would just go back to your child pose position, your spine twists, whatever is best for you. Do be aware if you grind your teeth at night to take some time just to relax the face muscles, going back to your deep breathing exercises. Now this active exercise is for your hip flexors, legs, glutes. You can go as strong as you like there. Again, I'm keeping it slow just to be aware of what muscles I'm feeling. Shoot for about 5 to 10 and do repeat each side. Here's some example of a sideline position. This gets quite strong, and you're going to see that I'm not going to be able to last very long, because I have had a few classes that I've taught already. So targeting your setup, pelvic floor, deep core alignment from head to toe, and again shooting for 10 in all directions with both sides and resting as necessary. The idea is, again, to keep your pelvis stable. I have my hand on the hip here to remind me of my hip placement, taking some time there to think about foot position, which hadn't been noted before, but always do consider that in your setup. I'm attempting to mimic pushing and pulling as if I'm tied into the reformer or a resistance band, targeting glutes, hips, inner thigh, outer thigh, quad, hamstring, and stability. So if you were able to do 10 in all those variations, both directions and on both sides, well done you. It is obviously quite tough on me today. So turning around onto the stomach, again, consider your setup, your length through the spine, just moving around there a little bit to release into the quads. They're a bit tight, so they pull on the lower back. So by moving about, I get a little bit of release before I begin. So here again, active relaxation through the upper body, and rather than just lifting straight away, I would be best if you pretty much engage, set up, and then slow lift. Now here with the knees apart, heels together, targeting the glute muscles, all the muscles in and around the sacrum and the tailbone. And again, you can engage and hold up for a good 10 inhale exhales for a few sets. Moving on to an exercise called swimming. Again, setting up, looking for length here rather than the height. If it starts to pull too much in your lower back, just stick to a static movement or just lift one leg up and down. It all matters here. You want to really tighten up, push the pubic bone in towards the floor, and then lift up. Moving into your hip openers here. Again, do what's right. This is a really strong passive hip stretch. If there's any tightness in your sacrum, this will show, so you might want to just leave this out sometimes, but it is a nice option. And again, I'm moving quite fast here, but you can hold the position. And if it does sting a little bit, just push back into a child pose stretch or a cat stretch. So here you'll see a little variation on your spine twist or your chest opener. Really just learn to get creative with your movements to find something that's best suited for you. You can see it's a thoracic rotation through your middle back and upper back. And I'm just using the floor and my body for weight to manipulate. Moving into the actual chest opener. The higher your knees up towards the chest, the higher the stretch up the back. You can have your hand behind the head, or you can have it just reaching around the room. And again, both sides.